A big reveal is coming and you won't want to miss a second of it. Pay close attention, because today is no joke. Before we dive into the hot details, if you're a true Los Angeles Chargers fan, like and subscribe to the channel. We don't want you to miss any updates. Here, information arrives quickly and to the point, with everything you need to know about your favorite team. Stay with me, because every day we have the latest news, straight from our leader, with everything about the Chargers. Let's follow every play of this exciting journey together. The Los Angeles Chargers find themselves in a difficult situation. The offensive line, already weakened by the loss of Rashawn Slater at the beginning of the season, now faces further challenges with injuries that further compromise the protection of Justin Herbert. At a critical point in the season, concerns about the quarterback's health are only growing, and the team urgently needs solutions to ensure Herbert remains healthy and effective throughout the season. First, recently signed Mekhi Becton, who seemed to be the solution for the offensive line, has already had to play sick in one game and recover from a concussion. To make matters worse, Joe Alt, another player who was taking on a prominent role, suffered an ankle sprain, and while it wasn't serious enough to require surgery, he will be out for at least a week. This puts the Chargers in a pinch, with limited options to fill the gaps on the offensive line. Justin Herbert, meanwhile, has been pressured on 50 of his 88 pass attempts in recent weeks, or more than 50% of his plays. If this statistic continues, it won't be sustainable for the quarterback to maintain the level of play that put him in the running for the MVP award. The situation is alarming, and the team needs to make drastic changes to avoid further damage to Herbert's performance. The answer may lie with Jamari Salyer, who could be moved to left tackle, a position typically occupied by Slater. However, Salyer has been used more at guard, which requires a quick adjustment. Austin Deculus, who joined the team via a recent trade, could be another option, but he's still an unknown quantity on the roster. Even head coach Jim Harbaugh has considered moving Becton to tackle, a makeshift solution, but one that may be their only hope. Given this, the Chargers need to act quickly. With ample salary cap space and several draft assets, the team has the resources to try to bolster the offensive line before it's too late. But for now, the outlook is uncertain. Amid the injury storm plaguing the Los Angeles Chargers offensive line, there's some good news that promises to bring some relief to the team's fans. Offensive tackle Joe Alt will not be placed on injured reserve. This decision was confirmed by the Chargers, who, following Alt's ankle injury, a sprain that raised significant concerns about his participation in the game against the Washington Commanders, made the decision to keep him on the active roster. Alt's recovery is as expected, and he will remain available to play in the coming weeks. Initially, there was a possibility that he could miss up to 4 games if placed on injured reserve. That scenario was avoided, meaning he should return to the offensive line soon, representing a huge victory for the Chargers, who were already dealing with an alarming number of key absences on the roster. Alt's absence could have been another blow in a season already plagued by injuries. Head coach Jim Harbaugh, along with the Chargers medical staff, confirmed that while Alt's injury was severe enough to raise concerns, it is not so debilitating as to require a prolonged recovery. The good news is that, contrary to what many feared, Alt will not face a lengthy recovery period. He will remain available for the matchup against the Washington Commanders, and his presence promises to be a crucial relief for the offensive line, which, since the beginning of the season, has faced serious challenges protecting quarterback Justin Herbert. Alt's return to action couldn't be more important for the Chargers, especially considering he is a key part of the offensive line. With the pressure on Herbert increasing in recent weeks, Alt's absence would only have exacerbated the problem. The Chargers know that Herbert, one of the league's most promising quarterbacks, needs protection to execute effectively. The offensive line, already weakened by injuries and makeshift adjustments, was struggling to give Herbert the time he needed to truly thrive. Execute plays comfortably. Alt's presence, even though he's still recovering, brings hope that the team can minimize this pressure and improve its offensive performance. However, the Chargers' challenge doesn't end there. While Alt's return is a positive step, the team still needs to find ways to address the other injuries affecting the offensive line. Furthermore, the team also needs solutions to deal with the other absent players and ensure that the opposing defense cannot exploit the offensive line's weaknesses as effectively. Protecting Herbert remains crucial to the Chargers' success this season, and all eyes will be on how the team manages these challenges. Chargers fans can breathe a sigh of relief with the decision to keep Alt on the active roster. Fans were anxious, but also apprehensive about what might happen. After 4 weeks of games, the team appears to have found some answers, but these solutions haven't come without their own complications. Ogbonia, who had been recovering from a serious injury for a long time, was finally starting to shine. Many believed he could establish himself as a starter in 2025, given his experience and potential. However, the reality reality has been different. Ogbonnia has so far failed to demonstrate a consistent level of play, and as a result, he has been left out of the lineup for the last 3 games. While his ability to recover from injuries was a positive, his lack of production on the field raised serious questions about his value to the team. Many expected him to become a pillar on the defensive line, but unfortunately, his performance so far has not lived up to expectations. Despite his lackluster performances, Ogbonnia can still be a valuable asset for the Chargers. His experience on the roster can be useful in some situations, and he has the potential to contribute significantly if he can find his form. However, if this inconsistency continues, Ogbonnia's position within the team will become increasingly uncertain. Now he finds himself at a crossroads, and his continued presence with the team will depend on his performance in the upcoming games. If he doesn't perform well, he could be traded, which would open up opportunities for other options, or even reinforcements that could bring immediate improvements to the defensive end. And that's where rumors of a potential trade arise. According to league sources, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are preparing for a potential playoff run, are reportedly eyeing Ogbonnia. The trade would be relatively straightforward. Tampa Bay would receive the Chargers' defensive lineman, and in exchange, the Chargers would receive a 6th-round pick in the 2026 draft. For the Buccaneers, adding Ogbonnia could be exactly what their interior defense needs to gain depth. The team has struggled to find consistency at defensive end, and Ogbonnia could be a good option to bolster this crucial area, especially with the playoffs on the horizon. Another possibility would be a trade with the Houston Texans, who, after a difficult start to the season, are also looking to bolster their defensive line. With an offensive line still under construction, adding Ogbonnia could help solidify the Texans' interior defense. Furthermore, by sending Ogbonnia to the NFC, the Chargers would avoid the risk of facing him frequently, which is always a plus when it comes to trades. A trade with the Texans would bring in Darrell Taylor. The Chargers' defensive line remains an area that requires constant attention, and Ogbonnia is just one of the players highlighted in this uncertain scenario. With so many injuries and depth issues at crucial positions, the 2025 season could be a major challenge for the Chargers. The team urgently needs to adjust its strategies and address these deficiencies if it wants to compete at the highest level. Ogbonnia's future will be a turning point for the Chargers. If he stays, he could be key to the defense's recovery, but if he's traded, it signals the Chargers are ready to move in a new direction.